When I picked this map and started doing this, I was so sure that I would have enough room, but I didn't. So that's fantastic. Anyway, intro music. So, hey guys, this is a video on Temple, and it's something that probably doesn't matter to almost anyone, but a couple people asked, so I felt like doing it because I like rambling, and we all know this by now. If you watch my channel, you know that I kind of ramble. Yeah, sorry. So, this video is on every possible sacrifice benefit you can give your temple. All of them. And what I have here is kind of my confusing, non-clean way of representing those different upgrades in-game. So what I have here is primary, military, magic, and support. And I have two columns for each of them. That is because there's two kind of classes of upgrade to your temple for each category. Left column represents buffs to the main temple, and right column represents additional weapons added to the temple. And when I use the term weapon, that's just a term used to broadly categorize something in addition to the main attack. So left column buffs the main attack, right column something in addition to the main attack, which isn't necessarily an attack. But yeah, we have 9 tiers, and that is for each category. We have 9 tiers of sacrifice for each category, and I'll quickly go over all the prices for those. Tier 1. We have $300 unlocks Tier 1. Tier 2, $1,001 will unlock Tier 2. $2,001 will unlock Tier 3. $4,001 will unlock Tier 4. $7,501 will unlock Tier 5. $10,001 will unlock Tier 6. $15,001 will unlock Tier 7. $25,001 will unlock Tier 8. And finally, the one that most people are probably already familiar with, $50,001 will unlock Tier 9. If you don't already know much about the temple, this is total dollars of sacrifice spent. So if I create my temple, it eats anything around it, sacrifices them, and the total dollars spent on those towers becomes sacrifices. So yeah, $50,001 of sacrifices when creating my temple in one category will give me that benefit for that category. If I only did 300, then I'll get tier 1 for that category. I can still get tier 9 for the other categories, but I kind of wasted my first category. So anyway, getting into the specifics on what these do. I'll go through each category one at a time, each class. So first off, primary. We have, okay, starting off, $300 tier 1 gives PS plus 5 to the main attack. Tier 2, we get damage plus 1 to the main attack, and we also gain our first ability. This is the 360 kind of tack shooter attack that it gains. This is a golden blade shooter attack, which has quite large blades. They have 10 PS, 15 damage with a 2-second cooldown. And they have all damage type, which is nice. We get a attack speed boost to the main temple. I'm just gonna sorry, I'm just gonna avoid mentioning the actual rate increase here because that gets confusing. It confuses everyone. There is, if you want to get specific on this, go on Reddit, check Popology. It's probably in there. If it's not, I apologize. Tier 4, we get another attack speed boost to the main temple, and we also buff the blades. This increases their pierce, it increases their damage, and it increases their reload speed. I think this is also, yeah, this is the last upgrade for the golden blades. So if you just want to get them, they're maxed. At this point, they have 20 pierce and 25 damage with a 1.5 second cooldown. Next here, we get plus 1 damage. Next tier, we get, this time, a couple things. This is a reload time on the main temple again, as well as PS plus 5. Then we get the Golden Glaives attack. This adds a glaive ricochet attack to the temple. Probably one of the ones that a lot of people don't even notice. This has a 1.5 second cooldown, it bounces 50 times, and it deals 10 damage per hit. Next tier, main temple gets plus 1 damage and plus 5 pierce. Next tier, we again get plus 1 damage and plus 5 pierce, and the Golden Glaives, they are buffed to 0.8 seconds and 20 damage per hit. Next tier, we get plus 1 damage, another reload boost to the temple, and the Golden Glaives now deal 30 damage per hit with a 0.5 second cooldown. So we have, from this, a lot of attack speed boost to the temple, some nice damage buffs, a lot of pierce, and we get 2 attacks. Onto military. First tier, we increase projectile size of the main temple by 25%. This also caps at 100. So you can, technically, you will, when you add these up, if you max military twice on a True Sun God, you'll get over 100, but it caps at double size. And we also get projectile speed increase 25%. Next tier we get plus 5 pierce, and I am silly there. We gain a homing missile attack, nothing to the base temple, sorry, which does, this one's kind of more obvious to see. You will see this kind of like a blue golden missile. It will home in, it always attacks Moabs, it will deal 75 damage to them with 50 pierce, but kind of a tight AoE. So if there's a lot of mobs in one spot, then it'll destroy them. 75 damage. It has infinite range, so your temple doesn't need to be seeing things to start using this, and it has a 3-second cooldown. Next here, we gain the golden aircraft, the first Spectre. This is kind of different to a Spectre now. Initially it was just a Spectre. Now it has a 0.15 second cooldown of 10 damage on the dart attack, with 6 damage per bomb and 6 pierce on the bomb. So it's got more of a high damage dart and higher AoE bomb, and this gets buffed. Next here we do get plus 5 pierce on the main attack, and the missile has its cooldown halved, so the missile's now 1.5 second cooldown. Next here we get projectile size plus 25% for a total of plus 50%, as well as another 25% projectile speed. Next here we get pierce plus 5, and the homing missile is now buffed from 1.5 second cooldown to every second. Next here is again 25% projectile size and 25% speed for a total of 75% projectile size. And as I mentioned before, 75%. If you max military again, you'll only go to 100% instead of 150%. Next here, messed up there again. This gives you a second golden aircraft and increases the damage to 15 per dart and 10 per bomb, with 30 pierce on the bombs. Next is magic. This does not give you anything for $300. There is no tier 1. Tier 2, you gain another attack. This is the kind of homing blasts, which is similar to a wizard monkey. It launches 4 of these, and it kind of does them in a spread, which I think is really cool. One of my favorite attacks in the temple. And I wish that was an actual attack in the game. That'd be cool. Anyway, it shoots 4 of these with a 4-second cooldown, and they have semi-random targeting. These do 20 damage per shot. Next here, base temple gains a chance to distract. It's kind of useless since it just wipes everything out, but hey. Next here, the homing shots now have 30 damage each, and their cooldown is reduced down to 2 seconds. Next here, it gains a knockback attack. This is effective against Moabs, not much else though. It only applies to Moabs and balloons. This has a 5-second cooldown. It just makes a kind of burst around the temple. It has been dubbed the fart attack. The temple farts and kind of blows everything away. Next upgrade, the distraction effect is increased to a 20% chance to knock back. This will, like, with the speed the temple attacks, this will just literally knock back anything instantly, but it will also destroy anything instantly. So, since it only applies to regular balloons, it's only good against ghost balloons in Sandbox. Next here, okay, so this is what upgrades the fart to hit Moabs. It can't actually hit them when you first get it. But yeah, it will never hit BFBs or anything higher than BFBs. This tier, the homing arcane attack is increased to 6 projectiles, and the damage is increased to 35. Final tier, we gain one last attack, which this is the one that spawns sun avatars as little sentries. These do 4 damage per shot now. It creates 1 every 30 seconds. If you go True Sun God, it'll just do 2 every 30 seconds. Now for support, I couldn't fit these because there's no support tower that's small enough to fit in this gap that I chose. I should have done like firing range or something. I'm not smart. But anyway, tier 1, we get +5 range on the base temple. Tier 2, we get a 10% discount for all upgrades in radius, as well as initial placement of the monkeys. Tier 3, we get a 10% attack speed buff for all monkeys in radius, as well as bonus cash generation. Next tier, we actually get 50% more cash from any balloons that are popped within radius of the temple. A lot of people don't know about this, but that's a thing, apparently. Hopefully it still works. Next tier, all monkeys in radius get +3 PS and 20% bonus range, as well as extra cash produced at the end of round. Now, all monkeys get +1 damage if they're in radius of the temple. Another 10% discount for any monkeys or upgrades in radius. Another 10% attack speed buff for all monkeys in radius, and even more cash generated at the end of the round. And finally, another +1 damage for all monkeys in radius. So, this doesn't really follow the same pattern of buffing the base temple, but it's the same. What it basically means is, on the right side, the thing that generates cash is an extra weapon that's generating the cash. This is applying an effect to the temple's aura, I guess. The actual range. So my initial explanation might be a bit confusing in that, but it makes sense in the first 3. So this is all of the various things you can get on your temple. I will, if I can find it, grab a link showing these numbers and put it in the description. If you don't see it there, I couldn't find it. Sorry. But I hope that this was somewhat interesting. I don't believe it was actually that useful, but thank you for watching my video. I'm very tired, so I wanted to talk about something I enjoy. Anyway, I will see you guys around.